Hello folks, this is Sula speaking, and you're watching a commentary video on League of Legends. This video featuring Annie. At the end of the last part of the video, I had dropped Tibbers on the enemy team's Kayle, who I'm laning against here, but she was able to get away, albeit with about maybe somewhere between a third and half life left. I will take advantage of this opportunity, therefore, to push forward and come up against the tower, get some good hits in. I have my stun up, so their Kayle is going to play cautiously. Tibbers gets taken out, but I still have my stun, so Kayle's going to come out and harass me. I'm going to take advantage of that to come out and hit her, get in a Disintegrate Bolt, and get in an auto attack as well. And that auto attack is something I've really been trying to focus on, making sure to get in one auto attack anytime you stun with Annie. Because that can sometimes mean the difference between getting a kill and letting someone escape with, a little bit of health left. Alright, Kayle is healing back up. She's using her mana on Divine Blessings. That's that little healing sound you keep hearing. And she keeps using some healing potions as well. So Kayle, like I said, can be tough to kill because between her ultimate and her ability to heal herself. But I figure if she's using her mana on healing, that means she's not using it on harassing me, and it'll be more difficult for her to farm. So all good as far as I'm concerned. Now this Kayle, again, I've said this before, but I think she played pretty well here. This is a difficult laning assignment to be up in a solo lane against Annie with Kayle. And whenever I had my stun up, she wisely backed off. See, once again, I have my stun up. But this time, Kayle comes forward to attack me, so I'm going to get in some more hits. Now she's going to hit me back with her own Reckoning, but I will shield it to block. And, we've got a pretty good exchange going on here back and forth. But I am getting more minion kills because Kayle has to be up right up next to the enemies in order to farm unless she uses her Righteous Fury skill. And so she's limited by what she can do by mana. Meanwhile, as Annie, I can just keep using Disintegrate over and over again, and I can maintain a pretty healthy supply of mana. Anyway, so we continue to go back and forth. Note that Tibbers is already back up again. Tibbers is on a relatively short cooldown, which is great. So as soon as I get my stun up again, I can have the potential of going for her. But look what we've got down here in the river. We see Ezreal, thanks to the sight ward I put down. And again, it is useful to pop off those sight wards. So Ezreal moves into the jungle to the northeast. I'm going to pop off my shield and my Incinerate. So now we're going to get Ezreal. I drop Tibbers, and he flashes out of it. So well done, and other team's Ezreal. He actually used his blink ability. I think it's called Astral Shift, something like that. So he blinked away and then immediately followed it up with Flash. So that was a dodgy Ezreal. But the good news is, well, the bad news is that Ape was coming in over there. I guess he thought that we were going to try to go for their team. Instead, I was going to go for the tower. So we were almost able to get that tower before Kayle came back out, and it's so close to death. We decide, all right, well, let's go back in. Unfortunately, the other team's Olaf survived with just a little bit of health left, so if he comes out, maybe we'll be able to get him. Kayle is almost out of mana, so we know she can't really do that much, and their Olaf is going to have to go back to heal, so we'll just go ahead and grab the tower. After all, they're going to have to back off. And so we're able to get the tower here, and even though Ape died, which wasn't a great result, we've pushed them back, and it looks like we've managed to win this lane up on top. So overall, pretty good job. I'm a little bit concerned that our jungling Olaf seems to be a little bit under-leveled. I mean, he's only level 9, even though, granted, I should be a higher level because I've been running a solo lane, but he's below Earthstrike and Ryuzaki, who've been down in the bottom lane, doing a dual lane the whole time, so that's not a good sign, the fact that he is a lower level than them. But anyway, good news nonetheless. We've pushed back this lane. We're in good shape at the top. Now I'll be free to go help Ape in the middle lane, and their team will be, their team's down a tower, and we're doing well. We're ahead in kills 4-2, so we're in good shape. All right, we just need to figure out where to go next, and I am debating whether to go middle lane and help out here or go top lane to push back Kayle. First, though, I'm going to drop a sight ward on the next to the Baron just for more visibility once again. It'll be helpful to keep track of people moving back and forth. Our Olaf player, for some reason, is not moving though, and uh-oh, that's a bad sign. You know what that means when somebody is just standing still. Pawn Stars has left the game. So it's exactly what we feared from the beginning, that this guy with the wacky name might be someone who leaves. Anyway, I see that Kale's pushing forward the top lane, so I'm going to teleport up there just because I have to go take care of this. And for the moment, well, playing 4 versus 5 is difficult, but we just have to hold our lanes for the moment and wait for this guy to come back. Because playing down a man is very difficult in this game. It's possible, but very, very tough. But, you know, hopefully our Olaf player will come back. Hopefully we'll see this guy again, even if he wasn't playing that great. Unfortunately, he was also out in the jungle. You can see he's over in the enemy team's jungle right now. So hopefully he'll come back, and because as soon as they spot him, that'll just be a free kill since he's not even playing. Alright, let's see what's going on right here. I have to push back this lane because Kale had managed to push it forward when I went back to buy, and when I was down there trying to help out in the middle lane. So the immediate priority is to push back this lane, and Kale had to back off because I had my stun off there. Alright, now that the lane's been pushed back, I can go back towards mid, and I catch Olaf heading through the mid here, so I'm going to drop Tibbers on him and stun him, and then follow that up with Disintegrate, Incinerate, and I just blow him up. He goes down very, very quickly, so that was fun. Now they're down. For the moment, we're back to 4-on-4 again, so we're doing okay. Meanwhile, Ryuzaki gets a kill bottom lane, so well done again, guys. We'd love to push here on this tower because it's a 2 versus 1 situation, but unfortunately we're lacking minions right now. I see that Tibbers is taking tower fire, so I'm going to back him out and then bring him back in again. I had my stun up there briefly, but Ezreal was playing really cautiously, so no chance to hit him. Instead, I'm going to tell Tibbers go attack the tower, and we'll get in some shots here for the moment. Ezreal doesn't look like he's going to challenge us. It looks like he's just, well, I guess he is. So I'm going to hit him with 2 spells and then back out of the tower range so I don't take tower fire. And just continue harassing as long as we have the minions getting in a few shots on the tower while we're here. You know, Ezreal can harass us, but he can't really push us back as long as that's the case. So we've done a pretty good job here. Now, meanwhile, while we've been doing this, Kale is pushing forward the top lane again, so one of us is going to have to deal with this. I asked Ape if he wants to go up there, but Ape says he wants to grab some neutral minions for the moment instead, so that means I have to go up there and deal with it. There's no choice. I have to go up there and cover this lane. And if anything, I'm a little slow in doing it, so Kale is going to get in some extra shots on the tower. Perhaps Kale might even think that this is some kind of a trap, not realizing that we're playing 4 versus 5. So Ape now must hold the middle lane while I come up here to hold top lane. And I'm a little slow in getting there, unfortunately. I should have headed back there a little bit sooner, but we were discussing who was going to go and cover that lane. So now Ape must hold the middle lane for the moment, and I have no choice but to push back the top lane once again. So this will be a recurring theme over the next couple minutes as I madly dash back and forth between the top lane and the middle lane, just trying to hold these 2 lanes as much as possible. Fortunately, Annie is a great farming champ, and Annie can handle this pretty well. Now, unfortunately, Ape gets killed middle lane. The enemy team Kale slipped down there while I was up clearing that top lane. So now there's 3 of them coming mid, and that means our tower is in danger. But I'm going to slip down here, and I will mop up this creep wave. I've got my stun up. Instead, now look at the river. We see that we thought that they were going to come mid, but it turns out, no, they're not going to go mid. They're going to go push top. I don't really understand why they do that, but okay. So because we have that sight ward down in the middle of the river, we can see exactly what they're planning, and that will allow me to shift up here in time to try and stop them. So I'm going to try to pop off some of my spells, get up to, now I'm just 1 away from my stun, so I shield myself, and now my stun's up again. And so I'm going to drop Tibbers right in the middle of the enemy team, and that's not going to kill anyone, but it is going to break up their attack, because now they've all taken some damage, and now they have no minions, so now they're going to be forced to retreat. So fortunately, Tibbers has allowed me to push back this attack on our tower, and now Ape is back from his earlier death. Now I know they're in the bushes, so I have Tibbers check the bushes, which is a really fun thing to do. Yes, you can have Tibbers check bushes, check brush for you. So I'm going to have Tibbers go after Olaf, and he does get killed, but once again he delays them, and it gives me time for Ape to get up here. Ape has just come back from healing, so he's full life, full mana. If they choose to push in here on our tower, we are feeling pretty confident, even though it is a 2 versus 3. We've out-leveled these guys, all except their Kale, and you know, we're in relatively good shape. So I've got my stun up again. If they choose to push in here, I'm like, Ape, just go in whenever you want. So Ape's going to charge in, and he just destroys Ezreal, blows him up. Now I get off my stun and freeze them, hit them with the Disintegrate Bolt. Now Ape continues fighting, and I'm going to hit Olaf with my attacks. And I take him down with auto attack, actually. So now Kale's the only one left. Ape has to retreat because he's taking a lot of damage. Kale doesn't come out the back end of the jungle, so I know she's still here. I'm like, alright, Kale, if you're going to stick around, I can finish you off. So I'm going to hit her with my spells, Disintegrate, Incinerate, and we get the kill. So that was all 3 of them killed, and not a single death for our team. A very, very good result. Alright, now for the moment I'm going to push back these minions, and then I'm going to head to the middle lane, where I can see that that lane's being pushed forward, so I have a chance to get in some shots on the tower, or at least I hope so. Meanwhile, I'll drop another sight ward in the middle of the river, because our earlier one was taken out. And look, there's Pwn Stars, once again, still sitting there. Nobody's found him on the other team yet, amazingly. He's not even in the brush, he's just in the middle of their jungle. So here, I'd really like to get in some shots on the tower, but unfortunately I'm taking tower fire here, and I thought I was out of range, but as it turns out, I guess I wasn't, and now unfortunately I'm going to have to back off because their Ezreal has come back again. So not the greatest result there, unfortunately. But I think we managed to get in another shot or 2 on the tower. Now I'm going to look at the scoreboard, and you can see I've got 1,000,000 minion kills. I'm up to 153, and nobody else is beyond the mid-80s, so I've farmed extremely well as Annie. What that means is I'll be able to buy my finish off my Rod of Ages. 24 minutes into the match, maybe a little late for Rod of Ages, but needless to say, we're just hoping to prolong the match right now, hoping that our Olaf player comes back, so still seems like a worthwhile investment. And with the leftover gold, I'll buy a needlessly large rod going towards Zanya's ring, and some more sight wards, because we definitely are going to need all the sight that we can get. And I've noticed that no one else is purchasing sight wards. Alright, Ape is pushing back this particular wave of minions. There were 2 of them mid, so I want to come up here to support Ezreal and I believe the Olaf on the other team. So we want to make this 2 versus 2. Unfortunately, once again, because it's 4 versus 5, we've got 2 versus 2 in the bottom lane, we've got 2 versus 2 in the mid lane, but that means that top lane is unaccounted for, and Kale's going to push it forward. You can see her slowly pushing the lane forward over there. Alright, I'm going to drop Tibbers here on Ezreal, so we stun him and do some damage, but he's going to back out and get away. Now Olaf comes out, so we're going to continue hitting him, and so we've done a lot of damage here. We've forced them to back off. I'm going to use Tibbers to get in some attacks on the tower here. And the other 2 guys are still sticking around. So once that tower comes down, Ape's going to be able to go after them, charge, and hit them. So he's going to pursue that Ezreal. He's going to pursue Olaf. Is he going to be able to get that kill? And I can't see. And yes, he does manage to get Ezreal. But unfortunately, while we're doing this, I'm not watching the top lane. So Kale's going after our top tower, and I'm going to teleport in, but too late. The tower goes down. Alright, anyway, continued in part 3 next.